Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Melissa Delp.
And I'm Kevin Delp.
And today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 board games. I actually hate choosing favorites and making lists, so I've been putting off this list for a long time.
A long time.
And I'm going to actually start off with number 11 instead of number 10, and it's sort of a guilty pleasure. It is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. It's a cooperative deck building game, and I do love deck builders and I love the Harry Potter world, so they both just kind of work together for me. Now, it is a more simple type of deck building game. It's, especially the first few years, it's divided into 7 boxes, 7 years, like the 7 books, and the first couple are really easy. But it does get harder as the years go on. And then they also have just come out with an expansion. Yes, Kevin has that. The Monster Box of Monsters. And then adds some more sophisticated mechanics like being able to trash or banish your cards and some other villains and things like that. So I really do enjoy Harry Potter.
I also enjoy playing Harry Potter, the deck building game. One of the things that Melissa didn't mention was the component quality, the box, the board, the boxes. There's things maybe I should be careful if you haven't played it. It's been over a year. Quick story is, we were at Gen Con in 2016 when this released, and I almost got ran over trying to get this game. So, USAPLE had a really cool booth. It was all like decked out in the Harry Potter theme, and we picked it up, not really knowing that much about it, and it's been a hit with people we played it with and enjoy playing it. We've only played the first box of the Monster Box of Monsters, and we'll continue to enjoy playing the rest of them.
Yeah, but it is a great intro to deck building for people who haven't really done many deck builders yet.
So are you ready to move into number 10?
I guess so. Here we go. Number 10. Instead of this being just one game, it's sort of a genre of games.
I
told you I can't pick.
10!
And these are the escape room games. They're fairly new to the market. So you have the different unlocks, the different escapes, exits, all of this. They are cooperative. They have the deduction aspect. Yeah, so we've played a lot of them, and I just enjoy the experience that the games have. Even though most of them you can only play one time because you know the story, or in some of them you're actually destroying the components, that hour or hour and a half, or if you're really unlucky, 2 hours, can be just a great experience that you have with the other people playing. And I also enjoy real escape rooms, so this is a nice alternative, cheaper, something you can do at home.
Yeah, something you can do at home. One of the things I like about the escape games are like all the different themes that are part of it, like the Pharaoh's Tomb, or the Secret Lab. The Unlock series has this like escape adventure with the island of Dr. Gorse? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, not Moreau. That's a movie.
That's true. And the different exit games and unlock games, the difficulty is different for each of them. I think that's kind of cool. This one, in my opinion, is probably one of the harder ones.
It's also the one we started with, so.
But it was fun, and I'd give a big thumbs up to escape games as well. Number 9.
Puerto Rico. It is a classic. This game, along with Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne, were my introduction into the hobby of board gaming. So it has a soft place. I have a soft place in my heart for it. It has that role selection aspect. It has building and resource management. You're trying not to get all your goods thrown overboard because you don't have a warehouse for them, and someone else captains and blocks your ship. But Puerto Rico, it's a classic, and it's one that I always enjoy playing.
Yeah, I also enjoy playing Puerto Rico. The different roles that you can play with, and then when someone else takes a role like captaining or crafting or something, then everyone else also gets to do it as well, which I think is just a pretty cool thing because everyone's involved throughout the game. So it's not like, even though it's turn based, people are involved throughout the whole game.
Right. There's hardly any downtime because you're always able to do something if you choose to.
So most people say that Puerto Rico plays best at 5. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below on that one.
Number 8. Number 8 is Alhambra. It is a tile-laying kind of city-building game, and I do love laying tiles.
If you listen to our podcast, Antrim House Board Gaming Podcast, you'll hear more about that.
Yes, and I especially love one of the expansions that has the bazaars, and that gives you extra points for actually, it's in this box, for laying certain colors next to the bazaar. So there's even more strategy of which tiles you take and where you place them. And I love games with a bit of a puzzle aspect where you're trying to put things in the right places and maximize your scores.
So Melissa earlier in the video mentioned Carcassonne. I think this is like just a level up from Carcassonne, and I like playing Alhambra with people that like playing Carcassonne because they already enjoy that tile laying aspect, tile laying game. Another expansion part of Alhambra that I like are the coins. I enjoy the coins, getting change. It's just another little helpful thing that I enjoy in the game of Alhambra. Number 7.
Codenames. As a writer, I just love games with words.
She does.
And I usually beat them.
We're on teams.
Yes. Now, I just really appreciate the way that you have to be clever in this game with the clues that you give and the way that you make connections between the words. I also like that you can introduce it to new people, people who haven't played a lot of games. We played it with my parents and my brother and sister-in-law, and they all just loved it. They picked it up really quick. I also really like Codenames Duet, the new version, where it's cooperative and it's a little more strategic and actually harder than the original version.
Yeah, another version that Melissa hasn't mentioned yet is Codenames Pictures, and they also are coming out, probably already out, is the Codenames Marvel and Codenames Disney. Lots of Codenames love. I think this might be our first crossover from my top 10. So Codenames is in my top 10 and it's in Melissa's top 10. So some love, synergy
there.
Love of Codenames together.
Number 6, Alchemist. This game combines two things that I really enjoy. It has worker placement and deduction. And it's just a really interesting way that they combined. It has an app that works really well.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out what certain ingredients are. So you're putting up different cards and it's telling you that it makes a positive green or a negative red or we don't know, it's a neutral. And then you have to use that information to deduce what sort of chemical makeup the ingredients have. There's also an element of people bluffing when they publish their theories about what they think it is, and I can never trust what Kevin has put down, whether he's just like, hey, flying by the cuff, I think it's this, or if he actually has made those deductions from the tests that he has done. So he's kind of sneaky in that.
Yeah, I try and throw people off sometimes while I'm playing. Something else about Alchemist is there is actually an expansion, which is Alchemist the King's Golem. This actually includes 4 different modules that you can make Alchemist even bigger. If Alchemist wasn't a big enough game anyway, and sometimes people are a little concerned because it can get a little big, and just understanding it, there's a lot going on. But if you understand the basic parts of the base game of Alchemist and you play it a few times, there's a couple modules in here that are easy to just push right into the Alchemist, the base game. The King's Golem expansion, or the Golem project, which is the biggest part of this expansion, is you need to know how to play.
Be an expert.
Yeah, I would say you need to be like an expert on the Alchemist before you jump into that one. Some of them you can put together and you can play 2 or 3 modules, and some of them can only be by itself. But
yeah, unfortunately this game doesn't get to the table as often as I would like because of the level of complexity and just that barrier to entry. But once people know how to play, it is a lot of fun. It can take about 2 hours though.
Yeah, Alchemist by CGE. Number 5.
Number 5 is Race and Roll for the Galaxy. I couldn't decide between the two. Now, they're both tableau and engine building games. In Race, I really like the way that you have to manage your hand of cards. Are you going to use your cards to play them for their value, for their actions? Or are you going to use them as the currency that you have to pay to actually lay other cards? So you could have some great stuff in your hand, but then you have to deplete it to lay the card that you need. So there is a great tension there. Some people do find the iconography a little off-putting and hard to understand.
Or remember. Remember, if it's been a while, it's just like, what does that do again?
But then there's Roll for the Galaxy, which is more of a dice-based game, and I find rolling those dice is really fun. I enjoy that. There's ways to manipulate your dice, so you're making some interesting decisions throughout the game. I think it's also a little more accessible. People aren't as intimidated by Roll for the Galaxy as they are by Race for the Galaxy.
I enjoy both as well. To be honest, the first time I ever played Race for the Galaxy, it was not explained well to me. I'll just be honest. And I was like, I'm never going to play this game ever again. Melissa, I don't know if you played it with me that first time.
I think I did. I was able to pick it up because I saw the...
She saw the patterns.
The patterns between the icons and how it worked.
So she said, let's try it one more time. And it was probably months, maybe even longer. And I said, okay. And after my wife explained it to me, it was, I picked it up a lot easier. Maybe it's because I played it one time and was able to remember some of the things. But I do enjoy Race. I probably enjoy Roll just a little bit more personally. The dice, I think it maybe goes faster. Or, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But I think I enjoy Roll better.
Number 4. Dominion. I mentioned before that I like deck builders, and this is the classic granddaddy of deck builders, but I think it has stood the test of time. We have all the expansions.
All of them?
All of them, I think.
Yes.
Yes. And so there's so much replayability with all those expansions. One thing that I really do like about the Dominion style of deck building is that all of the card options are available to each player.
And they're all in separate piles.
Right. So it's really up to you what you choose and what direction you go. It's not like you're playing a deck builder and the awesome card always comes up on the other person's turn and they buy it and you don't have an opportunity to get that card because, it's just a row of 3 options that you have. So I really do like that aspect of Dominion, that you have the card options available to everybody.
So I know Melissa's been really careful, but this is another crossover into my top 10 board game list.
Yeah, I was trying to pick some different things.
Yeah, and she's doing a really good job, and I've enjoyed the ones that she's picked. Last year, when I did my top 10 board games of all time, I said, I'm going to take all our Dominion expansions, and I'm going to put it into one big box, and you won't believe it, I did! Oh, here it is! And they are... all semi-neatly there in all their different areas, divided out by the different expansions, and I had to print out some stuff to keep them separate, and it all fits in here. This is actually a box from Hobby Lobby, and was able to print off some stuff from Board Game Geek to help separate it all. It's actually been really helpful. I will be honest, we haven't gotten to the table, even though we have it now in one box, we haven't gotten to the table as much as I thought we would. Well, probably because we're reviewers and we review lots of games.
Yeah, lots of new games.
But because it is in the box, I think we have gotten to the table more than we would have before.
And it's a little easier to sort through the games because you don't have to open 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different boxes to find the cards that you want.
Number 3.
Time Stories. Now this is more of an experience maybe than a game. I love how the story unfolds. It's cooperative. You're all working together to try to solve the mystery, figure out what's going on. Beware of the red herrings.
Yeah, lots of red herrings.
And we really enjoyed the puzzly versions of Time Stories. So the Asylum Case, Under the Mask, Lumen Fide. Those, I think, are some of our favorites. Although each expansion has something interesting in it.
There's Expedition Endurance.
Yes, we've played all the ones that are available
Under
at
the
this
Mask.
point in the U.S. Oh, and they keep coming.
Prophecy of Giants.
Now, we enjoy Time Stories so much that we actually made our own scenario with the designer's kit that they had on their website. And
we created it and we mailed it to France to Space Cowboys, and we recently found out that they're going to publish our scenario. They picked it and they said, we're going to publish this in 2018, and I think they announced this at Essen 2017, so yay! So it's called the Hadel Project, and you'll learn more in the coming months, but look forward to seeing our scenario
with our names.
With our names, Melissa and Kevin Delp, and it's gonna be awesome!
Number 2, 5 Tribes. Again and again, you'll hear me say that I like puzzly games where you have to kind of think out your turn and figure out the best move and the best way to maximize your points. And 5 Tribes has this Mancala type of mechanism where you're picking up meeples and you're dropping them along the path, and then wherever you end up is the action that you take, and it's really interesting, and I guess sometimes I get a little bit of
There's a little AP going on, because she's like, if I move that foot, I'll move those over there. No. Oh, those over there. And I'm thinking to myself, while she's playing, I'm thinking to myself, don't even look at that one, because that's like the best option ever. I'm going to get like 40 points from it.
And then that's what I do.
I know. Like, ah!
So I really do enjoy this game. We have the expansion, the Artisans of Nakala, and I really do like what that brings with the artifacts and the purple meeples and some more decisions to make.
Yeah.
I don't have terrible
No, not terrible. Not terrible AP, but she does enjoy 5 Tribes, and I look forward to playing it with our friends. So 5 Tribes.
Yeah, I love most of what Days of Wonder does. They have great production quality, and I really enjoy their games.
Totally agree. Number 1. All right, Melissa. What's number 1?
Well, if you've listened to our podcast, you might already know, because it has been mentioned, and it is Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I mean, it has tiles, it has crazy castle rooms like bottomless pits and fungus rooms and bowling alleys. It has major puzzly aspects of trying to put certain rooms next to each other so you score points. It has common goals and hidden goals.
Yeah.
And then it also has this really interesting master builder aspect where you set the prices on your turn of the rooms, and then the other people, when they buy those rooms, they pay you the money. So you're trying to find that right price where it's high enough that they'll pay you some good money, but not so high that they then just get the $1,000 room instead. So I really, really enjoy Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
We like it so much that we went and bought the broken token, the insert for it to keep all the pieces in their spots. It really helps with, this one actually really helps with setup and down and when you're trying to put it all away.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to get the game to the table and then to put it away afterward.
I totally agree.
And I'm kind of looking forward to the Palace of Mad King Ludwig.
We were able to play. I don't know if it was a prototype, but it was a very well made prototype. The Palace of Mad King Ludwig. They're releasing that at Essen, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it more than the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, but
yeah, castles, you're building your own castle, and Palace, it's
more
a community castle.
But you're all still trying to get your own points. So one thing that we didn't mention was an expansion to Castles of Mad King Ludwig, and that is the Secrets expansion, the Secrets of Mad King Ludwig. I think I still just like the base game more than putting the expansion in, but the expansion's fun. It's a good part to it.
Yeah. So, based on my top 10, what do you think are some other games that I might enjoy? Now, I haven't gotten a chance to play a full game of the Great Western Trail yet.
Played parts of it.
And that's one that really intrigues me. Terraforming Mars. We just got it. Haven't played it yet, so we'll see how that one compares. What do you think? Do you have any other ideas, Kevin?
I don't know. There's a couple coming out Essen that she might like. It's got that Euro cube pushing.
Oh, yeah. There's Ex Libris. I think it's already
That's already out.
but
That's by Renegade Game Studios, and
it's a library. It has books. It's
books.
got to be good, right?
It's got to be good. So thanks for joining us. You want to close this out, Melissa?
Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what games you think I should try or which games that we have in common that you really like.
Yeah.
So follow us on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all the different places where you can find Tantrum House.